What if the greatest player of a generation almost gave up before it all began? Before the trophies, before the chance, before the fame, there was a boy who nearly walked away. This is the story of the day Cristiano Ronaldo almost quit. In the moment that saved everything. Cristiano was 17. Still thin, still raw. Still more promise than proof. The kind of kid whose body hadn't quite caught up with his ambition. Sporting CP had just lost, again, and he hadn't even played. The coach didn't look at him once during the entire match. He sat on the bench the whole 90 minutes, bootlaces tight, legs bouncing, heart sinking. After the final whistle, the team filed into the locker room. Ronaldo followed, quieter than usual. No jokes, no music. Just the damp smell of sweat and silence. He unwrapped his shin pads slowly, like maybe if he moved slow enough, the disappointment wouldn't hit him as hard. That night, he skipped dinner. Went straight to the small dorm room he shared with another academy player. His roommate was out. Alone, he lay on the bed staring at the ceiling. Thoughts spiraled. Why am I here? Why am I not good enough? Earlier that week, he'd overheard two coaches talking in the hallway. One of them said, "He's fast, sure. But he's too soft. He won't make it." Those words clung to him like cold sweat. They repeated in his mind on loop. Around midnight, he got up, grabbed his cleats and walked out into the dark. The training pitch was locked, but the smaller practice field wasn't. Under the dull orange glow of a streetlight, he began to run drills. Alone. No coach. No ball at first. Just movements. Quick feet. Sprints. Then, after 20 minutes, he added the ball. Step-overs. Turns. Cutbacks. Tears mixed with sweat. It wasn't training. It was a battle. Against doubt. Against every person who ever said he wasn't enough. At 2:15 a.m., he collapsed on the grass, breathing hard. Eyes closed. The night was quiet. Lisbon stars above, the hum of faraway traffic below. For a second, he thought about calling his mother. Just to hear her voice. But he didn't. Instead, he whispered to the sky. "I'm not done. Not yet." He got up, walked back, and slept like he hadn't in days. The next morning, training started at 9 a.m. sharp. Ronaldo showed up early, same as always. But something in him had shifted. Less noise, more focus. The usual cocky grin was gone, replaced by something colder. Sharper. Coach Fernandez ran the drills like clockwork. Passing sequences. Positioning games. Ronaldo didn't stand out, at least not at first. But then came the sprint drills. And suddenly, he was a blur. First in every run. Not just fast, angry fast. Like he was chasing something no one else could see. Later, during scrimmage, the ball came to him near the sideline. Defender pressing high. Ronaldo didn't hesitate. A quick feint, a spin, and he was gone. A low cross into the box. Goal. No celebration. Just a glance at the coach. He wanted someone to notice. Anyone. But there was no applause. Just another whistle. Reset. Next drill. After practice, he stayed behind. Everyone else hit the showers. Ronaldo stayed. Worked on his left foot. Free kicks. Ball control. For nearly an hour. When the janitor came to lock up, he was still on the field. The janitor said, "They don't see you, but I do." Ronaldo just nodded. That night, instead of going back to his room, he walked through the city. Hoodie up. Head down. He passed a small cafe where old men argued about Benfica and Sporting. He wasn't famous. Not yet. He was just a kid with calluses and dreams too heavy for his frame. At a bus stop, he sat on a cold bench and took out his notebook. The same one he carried since he left Madeira. Page after page was filled with training notes, quotes from his dad, scribbles of formations. On the back page, he wrote one line in capital letters. Talent doesn't wait for permission. It was the only sound he needed. One week later, something unexpected happened. Coach Fernandez called Ronaldo into his office after practice. No warning. No reason given. "Cristiano," he said, not looking up from a folder. "There's a scout coming next week. From England. Don't ask who. Just be ready." Ronaldo's heart skipped. But he kept his face still. He nodded. Okay. That night, he didn't train more. He didn't run drills. He went to the field, sat under the bleachers, and watched the empty goalposts. Just watched. He wasn't trying to get faster anymore. He was trying to understand why he wanted this so badly. He thought of his dad again. Not the man before the illness. The man after. Quiet. Broken. But proud. Always proud. His dad used to say, "If you don't cry for it, it's not yours yet." That week, Ronaldo trained like a storm. But not recklessly. Everything had purpose. Recovery, meals, rest. He tracked his sleep like a soldier tracks weapons. He treated his body like a machine. Not a teenager's body. A professional's. The night before the scout's visit, he didn't sleep. He didn't toss or turn. He just sat on the edge of his bed, staring at his cleats. They were worn out. Torn near the heel. Same ones he'd used for months. Couldn't afford new ones. He taped them carefully. Made sure the laces were even. He brushed the dirt off like they were gold. The next day came fast. Game day. Training match. Ronaldo didn't know who the scout was, or where he sat. But he knew he was being watched. He didn't play for the crowd. He played for the ghost of every rejection. For the shadow of every coach who called him too thin, too selfish, too weak. That day, he scored 2 goals. Assisted another. And after the final whistle, the scout didn't come down. Didn't shake his hand. But Ronaldo saw him. An older man in a suit, standing near the far gate. He looked back at Ronaldo. Nodded once. And left. Two days later, Coach Fernandez handed Ronaldo a plain white envelope. No logo. No return address. Just his name, written in black ink. "Open it at home," the coach said, almost whispering. Ronaldo nodded, but he didn't wait. He sat on the bench by the far goal and tore it open right there. Inside, one piece of paper. A letter from Manchester United. It wasn't flashy. No promise of stardom. Just an invitation to a trial. 3 days in Manchester. All expenses paid. No guarantees. But the last line hit hardest. "Your name came recommended by someone we trust." He folded the letter slowly. Sat there, still. Silent. The next hour was a blur. He called his mother, his agent, even an old teammate from Madeira. Everyone had the same reaction: "You deserve this." But Ronaldo didn't smile. Not yet. He knew it wasn't the offer that mattered, it was the door. And doors only mean something if you walk through them. That night, he went to the small church near his apartment. Sat in the last pew. Didn't light a candle. Didn't pray. Just stared at the crucifix and whispered, "If I fail, let it be on my best day." 3 days later, he was on a plane. Alone. No entourage. No press. Just a teenager in a windbreaker, clutching a boarding pass like it was a map to something no one else could see. He landed in Manchester in the rain. Gray skies. Cold wind. But none of it mattered. He walked into the training ground with one bag, one mission. To show them they weren't wrong. The first thing Ronaldo noticed wasn't the stadium. It was the locker. It had his name on it. Printed. Not written in marker. Not taped. Printed. He ran his fingers over the letters like they might vanish. The other boys didn't talk much. A few nodded. One gave a half smile. But everyone was focused. Hungry. Just like him. The trial started with drills. Simple stuff. Passing, movement, positioning. But Ronaldo didn't do simple. He sprinted like the ball owed him money. He turned like gravity was optional. Coaches muttered. One even dropped his clipboard. Then came the scrimmage. He wasn't put in the starting squad. Just like always. But when they called his name for the second half, he jogged out calm until the ball came to him. Then he exploded. Nutmeg. Cross. Header. Back heel. Sprint. Shot. Every touch screamed something louder than words. I belong. After the final whistle, Sir Alex didn't speak to him. Just nodded once, like the scout had. But when Ronaldo reached the locker room, his temporary jersey was gone. In its place, a new one. Number 28. He held it up and smiled. Not because it was a perfect fit, but because he knew. Someday, he'd trade it for number 7. And when he did, the world would already know his name. Sometimes, the smallest decision becomes the turning point of a lifetime. Ronaldo didn't just stay, he fought, proved, and became unstoppable. If this story moved you, imagine what's coming next. Subscribe for more untold moments that shaped legends.